Shimano has just launched its brand new top-end XTR M9100 mountain bike group set. Recent updates to Shimano's other group sets, such as Ultegra and Dura-Ace on the roadside, have been more like incremental upgrades to the previous group sets, whereas this new XTR group set presents a whole new package, redesigned from the ground up, and features lots of new technologies, and I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear new standards. By far the most significant change is the move to a 12-speed group set. With this move to 12-speed, Shimano has wholly embraced 1x drivetrains. Its previous mountain bike group sets have of course been compatible with 1x drivetrains, but XTR feels like a more organic, fully considered 1x setup. But in classic Shimano fashion, it is of course still available in a 2x setup. The largest cassette that's now available is a 10-51 tooth option, which if you know your mountain bike group sets, you'll know is one tooth larger than a SRAM Eagle cassette, giving the new Shimano XTR cassette a 510% range compared to SRAM Eagle's 500%, which as we all know, means that the new group set is 10% better than SRAM Eagle. I've no doubt that someone will actually take me seriously on that and bring it up in the comments, but never mind. There's also a 10-45 tooth option available and a 10-45 tooth 11-speed option, which is really interesting. And essentially, this is the normal new 12-speed cassette with the largest cog removed, but maintains the same spacing as the new 12-speed setup. Now the thing I think is going to annoy people more than anything is to accommodate this new cassette with its super small 10-toothed cog is that a new free hub standard has been made. Shimano's calling this its microspline technology, and it's best thought of as a traditional free hub but just shrunk down. And the new free hub has 23 splines compared to the old one's 13. Obviously with it being smaller, these splines are taking more load, and that's why they've increased the number of splines on the free hub. In a classic bike industry move, the new free hub is of course not backwards compatible, but it's not proprietary, and at the time of launch, both Shimano and DT Swiss will have hubs with the new free hub standard. If you have a taste for climbing up the most ridiculous of slopes, or you're just very old school, you'll be delighted to hear that there is a specific 12-speed 10-45 tooth cassette available for double setups. This is matched with only one double crankset, which only comes in a 28-38 ratio, and with that 28-45 low gear, I think you'll be able to climb up cliffs, probably. But it's still good to see Shimano's catering for that admittedly increasingly small segment of the market. For that double setup, there is a specific rear derailleur, and for 1x setups, there is also a short cage and long cage option available. The new rear derailleur is strikingly different to the previous generation and has this really nice mix between polished parts and really dark anodized things, and I personally think it's very handsome. We've also seen a move from 11-tooth jockey wheels to slightly larger 13-tooth ones, which is claimed to improve chain retention. In a move that will further frustrate those looking to upgrade perhaps just certain parts of their existing drivetrain, Shimano has adopted an all-new I-Spec standard for its new shifters and brake levers. For those that don't know, I-Spec is what Shimano calls its system for mounting controls to each other on the bars. The new standard is said to give 14mm of lateral adjustment and 60 degrees of rotational adjustment on the bars, which is an improvement on the old version. There's no word in the press release that we've been given on whether there's going to be adapters or whether this new I-Spec is compatible with the old one, but we wouldn't bet on it either way. There's also a brand new, totally dedicated mechanical dropper lever. This is, of course, compatible with Pro's own Coriac dropper, but it's also said to be compatible with most other cable-operated droppers on the market. This integrates really nicely with the brake levers and the shifters, and it gives a very clean-looking cockpit. The shifters themselves have been slightly revised, but to be honest, they don't look that different from the previous generation, and I think it's more aesthetic changes than anything else. Similar to its old group sets, Shimano is also offering a Trail and XC version of its brakes. However, Trail has now been renamed to Enduro, because we all know Enduro is everything. The XC version is of course optimized for low weight over everything else. It also comes with a different lever with a carbon blade. And then the Enduro version is now a 4-piston design, which is much stronger and again has a different lever, and compared to the XC version has tool-free reach adjustment. ICE technology, which is the finned pads and the little sandwiched aluminium rotors, continues much as before with new XTR, but the rotors are now available in 140, 160, 180 and 203mm diameters. The new crankset is still built with the Holotech construction we've seen for years now with Shimano, but it's subtly different to the old versions. First off, there's not those two pinch bolts on the non-drive side to hold the whole crank together, and instead it's now got an 8mm hex sized self-extracting bolt again on the non-drive side. Those pinch bolts were okay in practice, but a little bit fiddly and one of those things that are quite critical in terms of torque values, so we think this one's going to be a little bit easier to live with. Likewise, we've also seen a move from that funny asymmetrical 4-bolt pattern to a direct mount chainring. In our eyes, this can only be a good thing. Direct mount chainrings look super clean, but they also allow you to fit a far larger range of chainrings. In a 1x setup, the chainrings are available in a 30 to 38 tooth range, and overall, the whole setup is claimed to save 80 grams compared to the previous generation. There's also a new chain guide to go with the Groupset. We see lots of racers in both the world of XC and Enduro running chain guides, and it's really cool to see that Shimano has fully embraced that and developed their own. This is available in 2 different mounting styles with a band on and a direct mount available. Finally, hubs. It should come as no surprise that Shimano is stuck to its guns and the hubs are still built around cup and cone bearings. I personally love cup and cone bearings. I think they're a far better solution for hubs than cartridge bearings, even if you take into account the fact they're a bit more of a faff to service, and I'm glad that Shimano has stuck with this. One interesting note is that Shimano is not offering full wheel sets as part of its new Groupset. Instead, it's just offering the hubs in a variety of sizes because they think that manufacturers and riders will want to build their own wheels rather than being stuck to Shimano's own rims. The new hubs also have what Shimano's calling its new scylent technology, which I don't know if you know guys, you have spelt that wrong. In the system, the pawls, which are most commonly seen in hubs, are replaced with a ratchet system, which is claimed to massively reduce drag and create a virtually silent hub. This sounds really interesting, but fingers crossed they're going to have time to fix that spelling oversight before the final production run. We don't have all the claimed weights for every component yet, but we're going to list what we do have in the video description. And if you want more nerdy highlights, check the full write-up on BikeRadar.com with a link in the description below. In the meantime, let us know what you think, particularly about that new free hub and how annoyed it may or may not make you. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you can get more information on the new Groupset as soon as we do.